This video discusses all monsters in Pillar Chase 2 as well as all the scrap killers. Vapor is a muscular demonic figure that somewhat resembles a human. He's described as a human once, but now a demon after years of being punished for his sins in hell. He has red skin, no left arm, no lower body, sharp black fingernails, a distorted and stretched face, sharp yellow teeth, hollow eye sockets, entrails poking out of his torso, a spine hanging from the bottom of his torso, and small spider skulls on his shoulders. He's a completely original monster, and he's the first monster that was completely free to all survivors. Vapor, Rosemary, and Springtrap were all taken directly from the original Pillar Chase into Pillar Chase 2. He takes pride in being a demon soldier, and told Valem to his face that he does a better job than him. He's not interested in anything regarding his past life since he enjoys being a monster so much. He has 100 stamina, 20 sprint speed, 1 passive, 3 abilities, and an M1 attack. His M1 lets him grab at nearby survivors and deal 45 damage. His passive Burning is a debuff that he inflicts with his Scorching Grip that drains the survivor's HP by 4 each second. It can be cancelled by sliding, but it's a 50% chance. Scorching Grip is when Vapor holds his hand back as it catches on fire. Then a charge bar appears. Holding it allows Vapor to charge his attack until the bar is full, but he can't sprint while the bar is charging. If the charge ends early, then Vapor lunges forward and deals 20 damage, also applying the Burning debuff. He can also hit several survivors at once, and the swing doesn't trigger Vapor's kill animation. Demonic Shift lets Vapor teleport wherever the mouse cursor is, but it's limited to his line of sight. His teleport also takes longer depending on the distance he's teleporting. When he teleports, he creates black smoke clouds. Spider Skull Summon is his last ability, and it makes Vapor stand still while summoning a Spider Skull. The Spider Skull is constantly highlighted and is slower than survivors. It will follow Vapor until a survivor is within range, and then it will chase him until out of range or it makes contact with them. If the Spider Skull makes contact, then it will latch onto the survivor and blind them, also dealing 2 damage per 0.5 seconds until it is removed by another survivor. In total, the Spider Skull does 30 damage, and it will die after it is removed. His M1 and Scorching Grip deal knockback upon connecting with a survivor. The only other monsters who can do this are Springtrap, Uncle Samsonite, and the Stricken. Unfortunately, because being a survivor in this game is unfair, there is no limit to how many Spider Skulls can be in one round. So if you get cornered by like 5, join a new server. To make things worse, Vapor doesn't have a chase theme. Instead, he just has a loud ambience, so there's a good chance you'll be caught off guard. He's pretty unique in that he's one of 3 monsters to have survivors struggle in their kill animations, the other 2 being Rosemary and the Stricken. His last man standing quote isn't unlocked through leveling up, and he's the only monster that has an achievement. Despite his appearance, he wouldn't steal candy from a baby, but his stench is so bad the baby would just die from being around him, and he sucks at video games. Rosemary is a slim humanoid demon known for her loud screaming. Her description is the same as Vapor's, or at least the first part is. Like Vapor, she originated from the first Pillar Chase, and she's inspired by a stock Unity asset called Total Horror. She is extremely decayed with dull brown skin, horrifying tall black markings all over her body, wrinkles covering her face that make her blind, a gaping void-like mouth, no arms, open flesh and bone exposed on both her shoulders, and her legs end with goat hooves. She's very ruthless and violent, even being stated to be an efficient killer. The higher up demons knew this, and it led them to transform her and Vapor into demon soldiers with the task of torturing regular sinners. Despite being ruthless, she shows empathy for her victims, but this does not discredit all the heinous acts she has committed, both in and outside of hell. Rosemary's only concern is losing more knowledge of her past. She has 38 stamina, 26 sprint speed, 1 passive, 2 abilities, and an M1. Her M1 allows her to swing her head forward, causing the craziest headbutt of all time and dealing 30 damage. Her passive echolocation highlights any survivor that makes a sound within 105 studs, and audible sound cues will occur. Think of it as a way to balance out her dark vision, or at least that would be the case if it wasn't reverted in the Valem update. So now she can see perfectly fine and has echolocation. Good luck with that. Demonic Shriek is her second ability, and it allows her to tilt her head back and emit a loud shriek. Doing this around a survivor grants her 17 stamina, and the survivor will have their vision blurred, darkened, an ear-ringing sound, and take 5 damage. She can move while you're going through this minor inconvenience. Sightless Essence is her last ability, and she emits a dark, foggy essence that follows her for 10 seconds. If a survivor is near this fog, their stamina drain will be reduced, but they won't be able to regenerate any stamina. While this ability is active, Rosemary's stamina drain will be slightly decreased. Not a strategy for going against her, as she's a pretty bad monster, along with Springtrap. Just keep your distance and you'll be fine. Easier said than done, I know. Just like Vapor, Rosemary smells terrible, but not enough to kill anyone. She would steal candy from a baby, but feel bad about it, and she makes you dress to impress outfits despite yelling and getting mad whenever she loses. This is probably the worst monster to play against competitively while using voice chat. Baldi is an evil school teacher who originates from the indie horror game Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning. This makes him one of 3 monsters that originate from indie horror games, the other 2 being Springtrap and Inkfell. He is the 6th monster to be added to Pillar Chase 2, and he's automatically unlocked for free. I don't think I really have to go too in depth on his appearance. I mean, it's Baldi. Unless you were living under a rock in 2018, everyone knows who this deranged maniac is. So anyway, he has a mostly bald head, a neon green shirt, big red lips, a big nose, a ruler in his right hand that he smacks on his left hand every time he moves, neon blue pants, and some really poorly made brown shoes. He has 74 sprint speed, infinite stamina, 2 passives, 2 abilities, and an M1. His M1 is just him hitting any survivors around him with his ruler. His first passive is his movement. His movement is very unique, and no other monster moves like he does, no glaze. When you go forward, instead of him walking normally, he just slaps his ruler and basically teleports a little bit in front of him, and just before he does this, he will slowly slide. Trying to use the A or D keys to walk sideways will just force him to face left or right. So basically he moves exactly like he did in his own game. His speed depends entirely on how fast he slaps his ruler. Speaking of speed, that's his second passive. He progressively gets faster as the round progresses, and his speed will increase even more every time he kills a survivor. His first ability is Math. He places a notebook and makes a really stupid laughing sound. If a survivor is unfortunate enough to touch it, they will get a math question on their screen and a timer. If they answer correctly before the time runs out, they will take 5 damage. If they answer incorrectly or time runs out, they take 40 damage. So they're screwed either way. Don't worry, there's a cap on how many notebooks he can place. 7, which is kind of a lot depending on the map, and the cooldown is only 11 seconds. His last ability is Anti-Hearing Tape. He places a tape player and the tape will play a loud noise. Every survivor around it will have their location highlighted so Baldi knows where they are, and the loud noise hides the sound of Baldi's ruler. It lasts for 15 seconds, and he can place one every 23 seconds. The easiest way to survive this guy is to avoid the notebooks and hope the other survivors aren't stupid enough to die and make him faster than he usually would be. He used to cost 1,050 coins, but he was hit by the craziest deflation since 2015 and was made for free. For some reason, there are 7 different emojis of him in the Pillar Chase Discord server, despite literally nobody ever using him as a killer. And he's got 11 scrap skins. Maybe he has 7 emojis to help him cope with the fact that he's confirmed to be the weakest among all the other monsters. If they all fought, he would be the first one dead in give or take 10 seconds. And yes, he would steal candy from a baby and not feel bad about it. And he would lose to a gorilla, and he gets heated at video games despite being nowhere near rich enough to afford any with the low income he makes as a school teacher. According to Blade, the creator of Pillar Chase 1 and 2, Baldi is beautiful, so beautiful that he quote-unquote slays in Dress to Impress. For the record, I am never saying that last part again. Aloni is a man-eating blueberry-colored giant who originates from a freeware horror RPG maker game. Besides his size, I don't really see how people find this thing scary. He looks like a mutated blueberry, but he's an expensive mutated blueberry, costing 1,250 coins, the first monster on this list to actually cost something. He has a really oversized head, blueberry skin as I said earlier, massive bulging eyes with one having a much more slackened eyelid than the other, a chin that is a lot smaller than the rest of his billboard size head, a slim mouth with lips that extend downwards because this thing's face is all messed up, a short and skinny body that is kind of chubby and wrinkled, disproportionately extended arms, hands that have 4 fingers, and 2 short and stocky legs with 4 toes on his feet. His appearance in Pillar Chase 2 is more accurate to the one shown in the live-action Aloni movies than the games. Wait, there's an Aloni live-action movie? Anyway, he has 21 sprint speed, 100 stamina, 1 passive, 3 abilities, and an M1. His M1 is him performing a downward slap that deals 45 damage, and because his arms are stupidly long, his attack has a lot more range than it should. It makes him look like a baby throwing a temper tantrum. His passive is called Purple Border, and it gives a purple border to the survivor icons at the top, and it doesn't change if the survivor dies or not, and there's no last survivor standing quote. So basically, to sum this up, the entire server could be dead except you, and you have no idea. Fun, right? Well, not anymore, because thanks to the April 2025 overhaul update, the last survivor standing message appears. Way to ruin the immersion. Oni Vision is his first ability, and it allows him to see all living survivors, and the map is darkened. While this is active, Aloni regains stamina faster and can run freely and attack, but it only lasts for 4 seconds and has a 12-second cooldown. Shapeshift is Aloni's second ability. He can choose to turn into any survivor for a long period of time. When shapeshifted, Aloni's speed switches to 24 instead of 22, and his stamina drain is decreased. He can press F to use a fake flashlight to make it easier to trick the survivors. He's even able to do fake tasks, but if he attacks while shapeshifted, he'll turn back into his original form. Pretty overpowered ability, and his cooldown is only 25 seconds. Grab and Throw is his last ability, and it's exclusive to Double Trouble. Aloni can pick up Fuwatti by holding E. He's able to run around and use Oni Vision while holding him. If E or M1 is pressed while holding Fuwatti, Aloni will throw him and deal 85 damage to any survivors it hits. Aloni is stated to be really ugly, I can tell. And he would steal candy from a baby and make them cry on purpose. And he stinks. Somehow he can make good outfits and dress to impress. No way his head fits through any of those clothes. And he gets a little heated from video games, but I'm pretty sure his head's too big to own any gaming headphones. The Fogborn is a tall, shadowy entity based on a Minecraft horror mod called The Man from the Fog. He's described as a creature that dwells in large bodies of water and is thought to be a myth by mere humans. He costs 1,250 coins and looks like he's in dire need of a skincare routine. His head is very elongated, he has a gaping mouth with 8 long glowing blood-tipped teeth, large eye sockets with white pinprick eyes that look like stars, small nostrils, dark brown rough and stone-like skin, 6 spikes on each arm that run down from his shoulders, 3 claws on each hand, and his feet are 2-toed talons that look like they belong to a bird. He has 100 stamina, 25 sprint speed, 1 passive, 2 abilities, and an M1. His M1 lets him swipe his claws around, dealing 30 damage to any survivors unlucky enough to be near him. When in chase mode, he bites in front of him, and the cooldown between attacks is reduced. Chase mode is his passive, and it can be triggered in 2 ways. First, if his Foggy Stare ability is activated, and second, if he somehow gets up to 28 sprint speed. While chase mode is activated, his stamina drain is reduced, his sprint speed changes to 28 if it wasn't already, and his running animation changes him to doing what? Crawling on all 4s? If I'm on a really dark map like Gilgamesh Holding Facility, I'm the last one left, less than 20 health left, I hit a dead end, and I turn around seeing this creature crawling on all 4s towards me, I'm Alt F4ing. He can have the win. Thunder Warp is his first ability. He can strike lightning down and disappear, becoming incredibly fast before reappearing in a second lightning strike. While this ability is active, he can attack, and he can regenerate or drain stamina. He emits a quiet storm sound that becomes louder whenever another survivor is near, and when he reappears, there is 1.25 seconds of end lag in which he can only walk. To make things worse, for a second, all survivors are highlighted when he activates this ability, and his lightning can be heard across the map. So if you hear it really close to you, GG's. Foggy Stare is his last ability, and it causes him to whistle and stand on all 4s for 4 seconds. If someone looks at his face, he will be struck by lightning, and the survivor who did it will be highlighted in red, and Fogborn will enter chase mode for 9 seconds and have his stamina regenerated. Anyone else who didn't trigger it will have their screen darkened for 3.5 seconds and be immune to Fogborn's M1 until the duration is over. Foggy Stare has a cooldown of 16 seconds, and Fogborn receives 40 stamina. Strategy for surviving this creature: don't look directly at him, and if you hear whistling or lightning, go in the opposite direction of wherever they're coming from. Fogborn used to be the fastest monster in the game while Foggy Stare was triggered, but that was before PCX got added, and some monsters got a buff in their sprint speed. His kill animation is him biting the survivor's neck, which is odd since he can't even close his mouth fully. Despite looking like that, he would never steal candy from a baby, but he would traumatize it by looks alone. He makes bad outfits and dress to impress, despite being slim enough to fit in all of them. He doesn't rage at video games, and the last time he tried to cook, he burned the kitchen down. EXE is a creepy pasta character based on the original Sonic EXE. He costs 1,350 coins. In my opinion, PCX is 10 times cooler than EXE. But PCX was taken down for copyright reasons, even though EXE is literally just Sonic. Sega, make up your mind. Take EXE, not PCX. EXE has 2 appearances, one that resembles regular Sonic, which is called Faker, and the other being his true form. Faker is missing the buckles and belts on his shoes that classic Sonic had. He has blue arms, he's desaturated and darkened, he has a protruding brow line that makes him look angrier, his quills end in black points, and his eyes are clearly separated. EXE's true form is much taller and lankier. His skin is a pale gray, his eye sockets stretch, and his eyes are completely dilated with red pupils. His mouth stretches and displays a row of sharp teeth, his nose is more animalistic, and his gloves and socks meld into his body. He has 105 stamina, 20 sprint speed, 1 passive, 2 abilities, 1 removed ability, and an M1. His sprint speed makes him the 5th slowest monster in the game, even though he's literally Sonic. See why PCX is better? His M1 lets him swing his right claw and deal 45 damage. His passive You Can't Hide lets him sniff the air every 11 seconds and highlight any survivor within 105 studs of him. His first ability, Too Slow, lets him charge forward with an outstretched hand, increasing his movement to 28.5. If he comes into contact with a survivor, he will grab them for 10 damage and then bite them in the face for 40 damage and then wipe his mouth. Since he stands still to wipe his mouth, you get like 1 extra second to escape, but keep in mind during the bite animation he regenerates stamina, and you don't. Thorny Grave is his second ability. He places an oval of black tendrils on the floor, and if a survivor steps on it, they will be trapped and forced to hold E 15 times to free themselves. Other survivors can also help, but don't be surprised if they just run past. When a survivor is caught in the trap, they will be highlighted, and EXE will know exactly where they are. He can place 5 traps at a time, but for some reason killing a survivor stuck in a trap doesn't increase the round time. His removed ability is Found You, in which he teleports to the nearest survivor, filing that survivor's screen with static and giving him a slight speed boost. But EXE's creator Raven stated EXE is unable to teleport, so it was removed and given to the much cooler, faster, stronger, better character PCX. No glaze. The easiest way to survive this guy is to watch out for traps. That's really all he's got. Even if he's hit you with too slow, you'll be alright. Probably. EXE is an entirely different entity from PCX, which explains why PCX is so much better. EXE is ugly, stinky, would steal candy from a baby to make them cry on purpose, can't cook, plays dress to impress for some reason, and would destroy a setup from video game rage. My go PCX would never be accused of such heinous acts. Again, no glaze. Uncle Samsonite is a chubby, soul-eating humanoid abomination from the horror comedy series Uncle Samsonite, created by Jake Bowen. He costs 1,300 coins, and under no circumstances should this man be allowed near a school zone. He looks like he actively preys on... okay, yeah. His walking animation only makes him look worse. He looks like those "where my hug at" guys, if you know you know. He's a blue cap with pony-ass gears, a pig head that's more like a mask, slim and long arms, layered skin on his neck, big brown overalls, 3 white buttons sewn onto one of the straps, with a yellow shirt underneath that is overlapped by his overalls, hooved feet, white rubber gloves that end in sharp gloves, and a dark brown fur cape. He has 115 stamina, 19 sprint speed, 2 passives, 5 abilities, and an M1. His M1 lets him throw out a short range punch that deals 50 damage and causes the dance overlay to increase by a small margin. This also deals knockback to any survivor affected. Dance overlay is his first passive. Anyone in his range while using Beat Laydown or Uncle's Wrath will experience an overlay of bright green and purple neon colors surrounding the screen that progressively gets brighter the longer the survivor is around him. After a certain point, if the overlay is bright enough, the survivor will begin to dance uncontrollably, unable to move until Uncle Samsonite hits them or until 5 seconds pass. His other passive is Domain Doors. 6 glowing doors will be placed across the map, and he can teleport to these doors by using his Domain Traversal. Dance is his first ability, and he'll pick one of 3 dance animations to start dancing. This serves no purpose other than to taunt. See why he can't be trusted? What kind of man busts out a dance move mid-chase? Take to Domain is his second passive. When holding E on a dancing survivor, they will be teleported to Sam's domain, where they have to find the correct door to escape. Successfully putting a survivor in the domain increases the round timer by a few seconds. Beat Laydown is his third ability, and Uncle Samsonite will move his arms up and down for a few seconds, creating a purple highlight around every nearby survivor. He gains a significant speed boost, making him as fast as a full health sprinting survivor. Uncle's Wrath is his fourth ability, and he slams his foot down, creating a large shockwave that affects all nearby survivors. This forces survivors who are sprinting to start walking instead, and all nearby survivors get a purple highlight. Just like the last ability, this one makes Uncle Samsonite sprint a lot faster. His last ability is Domain Traversal. He can teleport to his domain, but every time he does, the round timer will go up by 3 seconds to compensate for animation time, and he can't use other abilities while in his domain. He can choose which of the 6 doors in his domain he wants to go through, and when he interacts with one, he will be able to see outside the door, so there's a very likely chance he'll be running near a door and get jumped. While looking at a door, all alive survivors will have a green highlight for a few seconds, and all dead survivors will have a red highlight. Survivors with 50 or below health will have a yellow highlight. If Uncle Samsonite teleports to his domain while survivor is inside, his speed will be decreased until he returns to it again after the survivor inside either escapes or is killed. As long as you can stay away from doors and keep your distance, you'll be fine. If you're caught in his domain, channel your inner Corey Kenshin and juke him out until you find the correct door. But keep in mind, while in his domain, he does not lose stamina. Uncle Samsonite would steal candy from a baby to make them cry. He should have never been allowed near the baby to begin with. He plays dress to impress, would destroy his setup from a video game rage, and he's an amazing cook. And I better not see 100 comments talking about Jujutsu Kaisen because I mentioned the word domain. Springtrap is a deranged man who never dies and has an unhealthy obsession with children. No, not like that. I mean killing them. He originates from Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm pretty sure you all know that. This version of him specifically is from Five Nights at Freddy's 3, when he's the decaying corpse of William Afton inside the spring Bonnie suit after it's spring locked. He costs 1,150 coins, and he absolutely sucks as a monster in this game. He used to cost 1987 coins as a reference to the bite of 87, but the devs realized he is in no way worth that price, so he got hit with major deflation. He has a dark olive-colored rabbit animatronic suit that's rotting away with multiple wires coming out, large tears and chunks taken out of it, glowing white pupils, pale yellow teeth, a piece of the right ear is missing, and the feet are completely destroyed, showing the endoskeleton. Inside the suit, he has organs and tendons exposed through the suit's tears. And when the suit's face mask is removed, you can see his face, if that still counts as one. He carries an axe, but is optional, so a lot of his stats depend on whether or not he's carrying it. He has 18 sprint speed with the axe, 20 without it, 110 stamina, 2 passives, 4 abilities, and 2 M1 attacks. 1 with an axe and 1 without it. His M1 with the axe is him swinging the axe forward, dealing 40 damage to any survivor hit, or 75 if they have the fearful buff, and knocking the survivor back. Without the axe, he swings his left arm and deals 20 damage, 63 if they have the fearful debuff, and they're still knocked back a short distance. Someone comment down how many times I say axe in this video. His first passive is axe. He starts the round with it equipped and can put it down or pick it back up by interacting with it. He can remove his axe anytime using the axe toss ability, which then causes him to no longer have his axe. In this state, his axe toss is replaced with mechanical slam. Whenever he is without his axe, a bar at the bottom of the screen will appear and will last 10 seconds until it runs out or Springtrap picks up his axe. If the bar runs out and Springtrap doesn't have his axe will automatically be placed in his hands, forcing him to equip it. Fearful is his other passive, and it acts as a debuff to survivors. It's applied to survivors after Springtrap makes contact with the survivor during Phantom Walk, and it lasts for 10 seconds. While active, the affected survivor's location is displayed to all monsters, and it buffs all M1 damage and the axe tosses damage. Ventilation Error is Springtrap's first ability, and it causes him to begin glitching for 4.75 seconds. During this time, Springtrap's speed is increased by 3, and he will slowly regain stamina. Any survivors near him will start hyperventilating, causing their screen to flash black periodically, and it lasts for 11 seconds or until the survivor is far enough away. This ability is the same with or without the axe. Phantom Walk is Springtrap's second ability, and it doesn't change either depending on whether he has the axe or not. He shrouds himself in smoke and begins to float. He instantly gains 15 stamina and his speed is increased by 6. Every survivor is highlighted and his vision is darkened. If he makes contact with a survivor, they will be jump scared and have the fearful debuff. His last move is axe toss or mechanical slam if he doesn't have an axe. Springtrap winds up for a short period, then throws his axe forward, dealing 65 damage to any survivor it hits and briefly stunning them. Don't worry, the axe has a limited range and will just fall out of the air after reaching it. In Mechanical Slam, Springtrap takes a step forward and swings his right arm in front of him. If he grabs a survivor, he will hold them into the air before slamming them into the ground and dealing 55 damage. Don't let the high damage numbers fool you. His footsteps are extremely loud and he's slower than you by default, so you have more than enough time to evade him. But if he gets close, then yeah, good luck. If he misses an axe toss, he is stuck in end leg, which can give you even more time to escape. Really just keep your distance. He doesn't have any insanely broken teleportation moves, so he should be fine. He's ugly, would steal candy from a baby, and probably turn them into an animatronic. Has a stench so bad it kills people because he's been rotting for decades, is very good at Dress to Impress, would yell at video games, and he can cook. MX is an ancient spirit who takes a twisted form of Mario and kills anyone who dares to play his game. Basically, he's just a creepypasta version of Mario from the horror game Mario 85. It seems like the Sonic and Mario beef never ends, even as creepypastas. He costs 1,585 coins, I bet you can figure out why, and used to be a developer-only monster but was officially released on June 21st, 2024. He's big, like really big. He's huge. Pause. He's a huge, heavily exaggerated version of Mario with an almost corpse-like appearance. His gums are visible. He has red cracks of red snaking upwards through his teeth. He wears a set of dark red overalls with a heavily altered emblem. He has a top hat, a black shirt, no visible pupils or even eyes, a big nose, an overgrown mustache that curls upwards, no gloves, and shiny leather shoes. He has 24 sprint speed, 80 stamina, 2 passives, 2 abilities, and an M1. His M1 lets him stomp the ground in front of him, dealing 75 damage, to any survivors in front of him. But as a drawback, it has heavy end leg after use, so survivors can run away after almost dying to a single M1. His first passive is jump, which lets all survivors gain the ability to jump by pressing the spacebar. No way! Jumping takes 8 stamina and has a slight cooldown. Why is jumping important? Because if MX performs his pow hop ability, they'll be tripped and probably curb stomped shortly after. Use jumping as an advantage to flex your awesome parkour skills. Bloodlust is his second passive. When MX kills a survivor, all other survivors are highlighted for 5 seconds, and all of his cooldowns are reset. This is pretty overpowered until you realize this is the only way MX is able to highlight survivors. Charging Demise is his first ability. MX does his best guess 1337 impression and performs a shoulder charge in the direction he's facing. This is a joke, I know Pillar Chase 2 did it first, please don't kill me. He can't stop charging until he hits a wall, kills a player, or until the charge runs out. Survivors unfortunate enough to be caught in his path will take 5 damage per tick and be dragged along with him. If he hits a wall, MX will be stunned for a couple of seconds. Pow Hop is his last ability, and it is stupidly broken. He performs a flying jump through the air with a lot of freedom as to where he can land. Before he lands, a prompt will appear on the survivor's screen telling them to jump now. Don't know why the game is backseating, let the survivor find out for themselves. If MX lands directly on a survivor, they just die. There's no health taken away or debuff. Nah, they just instantly die. But that's what happens when the Mario version of the Hulk jumps on you. The survivor dies so fast that Bloodlust doesn't even get activated, and the cooldown is only 10 seconds. As for a strategy, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain why running in a straight line from a literal tank shoulder charging at you is a bad idea. Using a parry stance is a good way to counter MX, but if you suck at parrying and miss, his M1 will instantly kill you. So do some practice runs in Deep Vulcan first. If you get cornered, try to reason with him. Nacho cheese is his favorite Dorito flavor. Just don't mention video games because he will canonically burn down his house from video game rage. And he stinks. If you like this video, you will definitely love this video featured on screen. Comment below if you want more Pillar Chase 2, or if you have any other Roblox related topics you want to see covered next. See you soon.